Hey, family. It's Friday night. Uh, Popcorn. Friday night. Uh, 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 uh. We're notifying people. Friday night. I just did 3 videos, right? And sent them over to TikTok. I put them on TikTok on my FYP page, right? And then I hurry up and sent them over to my story. Because what TikTok did, one of my videos I did before that I sent over, they allowed 3. I normally do 3. They might be 15-minute videos, right? But TikTok can't monitor that the way they can what I'm doing now. So they did stop one of the videos, right, from moving forward. And the reason why, because they want me to pay for it. So they got it blocked where can't nobody else see it, because they want me to pay for them to advertise the video itself. I've done that before with certain videos to get more viewers and stuff like that, because that's where your followers come in at too. And it's basically advertising your stuff. So I understand. But there's so many people that knows how to do that. From what I understand, it could be lying. And they make great money from it, right? When they make little videos and send them back over, because that's what TikTok tell you to do. A lot of people that's doing lives, right, on here, they might have prompts up, right? And they make money, what they say, from the algorithm, something like that. That's how they make their money. And the more viewers and all of that, it sends stuff up. But a lot of them platforms that does that, it's a lot of chaos and confusion comes with that. And I can't. It's like early on, when I was on people platforms and the chaos and the confusion, it was interesting. It was okay. But then once I get off, it's like my spirit is out of whack. And I was wondering why my spirit is out of whack. Well, some of the platforms with a bunch of chaos and confusion on it, I cannot stay on it. I can't. Because my spirit, and I tried, I mean, that's just where I'm at. So today when I was on Jador's, I see you, Laura. The day when I was on the Jewel's platform, she had just started up, right? And when I came over, there was like 3 of us on it, or 4. And I answered the prompt. We talked about it, all that stuff, shared from a level of personal experience with it. And as other people begin to come in, you can feel it. You can feel it. And here we go. And you know what I eventually did? I dropped. I said, nope. And what I try not to do, family, if I'm on somebody's platform, I just don't want to drop myself, because I don't know what that dude does with the algorithm and all that type of stuff. I don't want your stuff to look bad, because I'm personally dropping myself. But if you letting people up on your platform, and I know they're going to come up and start a bunch of chaos, confusion, I know it. The moment they come up, they run it straight off of their mouth. They're not trying to listen to see what the topic is about. They come right up attacking. And once they start doing it, y'all know my big mouth, I'm going to say something. What I had to start doing, right? Because when I realized you bringing in, and to me it's evil, right? It's evil. And I don't like to talk bad about people like that. But it's pure evil. And when I spot your evil and your hatred, I can't stay around you. And I'm looking at them, how they all over there, you know, they doing what they doing. Tearing each other apart mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Attacking each other. And it's like, I had to realize too, they're young adults. I had to realize they're young. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, when I tell y'all my oldest daughter is 37, my youngest daughter just turned 25. When I look at my niece, that'll be 46 this month, right? And I raised her sister, I raised her brother. And I'm talking about my nieces and nephews. All my nieces and nephews that I know do not talk like these people do on TikTok. Do not. Sometimes I be lost. Like, what in the world? And I'm trying not to judge them. I'm trying to learn. You get me? I'm trying to learn from them. How the generation beneath us, how they think, act, and behave. And the only thing I can keep thinking of, Laura, is how both of my wives and I raised our children. And it's nothing like what I hear over here. Nothing. I'm telling you, even if I brought little Steve up on here, I guarantee you any amount of money, little Steve would sit back and say, Dad, what is they talking about? And they can be around his age. Now, I met some young men that came up, right? Very knowledgeable, very intelligent, very smart young men. Why for their age? Wise, I meant. For their age. And you know people turn around and beat them up. They might have been on the streets when they was a little bit younger, right? Then they 21, 22, and they turned their lives around. And they'd come on here and they'd just talk about how the difference it is. And there's people on here that will eat them straight up. And I'd be like, look at this. Do y'all know how hard it is, right, for a person like myself that fights for our democracy? And when I say that, I'm fighting against the lawmakers that tend to create laws to hinder us. Those are the ones I normally argue with. Some of them are great as far as trying to make sure everything run right for the people. But it's the ones that tends to want to see you down or don't want to see people to grow that I tend to come up against. Not just me, the groups that I'm with, the groups to help build up. And then I just said, right, I was invited to 3 other platforms. And the people, the hosts I know are great people. But they tends to feed a lot into that bull crap, and I can't take it. So I was like, nah. Because they get something out of it. Uh-huh. Yeah, they get something out of it. But I wanted to give you an update on how I'm doing. I've been back in the emergency room a couple times this week. They're saying now I got bronchitis, but they did the same thing last year. I went from having the flu to bronchitis to pneumonia, and then I had sepsis. And then they said I had all 4 at the same time. So it's like, I don't know. All I know is I haven't been able to get on TikTok very much. I ain't been able to do my lives hardly at all. I went live for a little bit the other night while I was in the emergency room. But I didn't stay on very long. It's a little hard to breathe, but I'm going to be all right. I got breathing treatments here at home that I can take. So my thing is, right, because I'm just trying to look at as a whole. It's like, what is causing it? Is it the air? Is it the environment? Like something in the house?
I never used to get sick before at all, Steve. I mean, I never ever got sick at all before, and I mean, not even with the cold or the flu. I mean, I never got it. But that's because I was always very active. I mean, I stayed healthy. I ate healthy. You know, I was just very active. But now that I'm not very active, it's like my body, I mean, immune system is going down. So, and I guess it comes with age also.
Right.
I don't know. But I guess for all the sickness that I didn't get before, it's all kind of ganging up on me now. It's all trying to come in on me now. But they got me on steroids now and cough medicine. But it's like, I don't know. I've been feeling like shit. I ain't hardly had much of an appetite at all. I've been getting sick in my stomach. And it's just really hard to breathe. And my cough sounds horrible. The cough is just horrible. It's got my lungs hurt. It's got my stomach hurt. Everything. It's got it like real sore. So
I don't know. I'm
send me to a pulmonologist. They're gonna send me to a pulmonologist. That's for breathing through the lungs and stuff. So they're gonna send me to them to see if they can figure out what's going on. Because even the emergency room says my cough don't sound good at all, but they can't find anything on the X-rays or the CT scan.
Yeah, because I was just listening to you, and I know certain things, and I'm just looking at the air that we breathe that could be in the house, in the paint.
Right.
Certain things that could be affecting us with our breathing and all that.
The house is too early. Yeah, the house is too young for that. I mean, it ain't got no lead in the paint or nothing.
All right.
This is like an 80s model house. So it's like there's no lead in the paint. I just painted these walls, about 10 years ago? Yeah, about 10 years ago. And I mean, it's not that. And I keep my house pretty clean. I keep it swept and vacuumed and dusted and shit like that. I'm not sure exactly what it is. It just ain't good. That's all we know.
I know that's what I'm hearing. It just, I'm talking about because we're older. So it just, kind of make me wonder.
Right. And our immune systems do go down a little bit as we get older.
Yeah. And that's a lot of that I'm hearing too. The aging process, certain things we go through. And I'm just saying, even for me, being a diabetic, I'm hoping when I go to this new doctor on the 13th, he will adjust my medication. One of them will adjust my medication because I'm not liking what's happening with it towards my body. And the stuff, and it keep taking me back to what this one doctor said when I told him I was taking the medication for a certain amount of time, years now. And he said, and you not better yet? Then it hit me. I'm like, they just giving me stuff to prolong it, But the thing now with being a diabetic for 35 years, and I thank God that like my kidney is still fair, my liver's still fair, my main organs. And I always get my blood tested to make sure everything running right. So because I know the only reason why I'm saying that, for being a diabetic for as long as I had, I know I can go blind. I know I can already then, with the toes thing, I already know everything that come with it. So in saying that, I just thank God that it haven't really took me down the way I know it can. You get me? So I feel honored, because I know people that's haven't been a diabetic as long as I had, then went blind, then lost limbs, might be on dialysis because of whatever reasons, And when I look back over my life and over the years, And I just thank God. Even though I am one, I'm at a point now where my A1C used to be 11.5, right? And I drove tractor trailers with that. And I used to have to carry sweets with me and everything. So now it's under 8, right? And the last time I looked, when I look on my medical thing, the last time I looked and my A1C was 8, period. It was like over 25 years ago. So no matter what I say out my mouth, it's always a spirit unaliver. I'm proud to be under 7, basically, right? So I think it's 7.1. I can look on my thing, right? That's my A1C. And when I share that with certain things, some people come back, well, see, it's supposed to be 5 something. No, it's not. That's for the normal ones. I mean, if I can get it there, excellent. But the thing is, and I was reading it up, Laura, for a 64-year-old man, 200 pounds. Actually, my weight's supposed to be 191, so I'm under 200, but I always say 200. But I came a long way. But anyway, I was reading it up about the guy my age with diabetes. And it was telling me for somebody that's diabetic, two diabetes, it's supposed to be, which is a healthier range for me, between 7 and 8. And I am at 7. So basically it got me wondering, do I still need the medication? So I need to talk with the doctor, because sometimes I know it's going to go up when I eat, because I just finished eating, right? But the insulin I took will bring it back down. But then late during the night, it will take it all the way down. And I got to get up in the middle of the night because my thing going off. And I got to go downstairs, grab something to bring it back up. And it's been happening too much, and it should not be doing that. So I'm trying to find out, why is my sugar constantly dropping? Because I can fall out. I can go into a diabetic coma. So that's the part that's scaring me now. It's like, am I taking too much medication? So I got a new primary doctor now, and I'm praying that they would do something different, because I am tired of it. I'm tired. I'm so sick and tired, because it's like I'm doing everything I can to, be healthy. My blood pressure. Some days I can't take my blood medication, right? Because if I take it, if it's a normal rate, then I shouldn't take it. But if it's a little higher, yeah. But if it's a normal rate and I take it, it's going to drop. So now I don't know if it's my sugar or it's my blood pressure that got me doing like this. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to go out. So I have to get them to adjust this stuff. Some stuff I might not need no more. I just might need to continue eating and doing the right thing, stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to rise with certain foods. So I'm looking at, and I don't eat any and everything. I got chicken that I was baking it, but I boil it. I boil it in the baking pan, like it's in the oven. I boil it and I season it, and you'll think it was baked, because that's how good that sucker tastes, right? So I just started doing something different, and I only eat basically the chicken. So I did order me like some little breakfast sausage things and the pancake, but now this is what I have a tendency of doing. And be honest with y'all, I just finished eating not too long ago. So I had the turkey link sausage. I cut a piece, cut it in half. Then I made the little 3 pancakes. Then I scrambled some eggs. So I had the sausage pancake. That's what I ate for dinner just now. Now look, I'm all right with that, because it's like I'm eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but now at one time. And I'm all right with that. Y'all see me, right? Because I brought some popcorn. I wanted the little snack stuff, right? The first bag I put on, I burned. I said, oh my God. But the second bag, I wanted a snack. But that's where I've been. A lot, and I'm only saying that, right? Because a lot of the stuff I used to eat, I don't eat no more. And I'm proud of me, Laura.
That's how I am too.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it. I'm proud.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying
I
that.
like a lot of chicken. I don't eat a lot of beef anymore.
Right. And once in a while, I go into a market and I'll look over at the ground beef and stuff. I'll be like, I want some hamburger. I want some spaghetti. And I'll keep right on going. Now, mind you, I can eat it now. Don't get it wrong. I can eat it. I just can't have a lot. You get me? So, like Laura said, I be wanting to get a piece of roast beef. And just something different. And I look at it and I look at the price. I'll be like, never mind. $30 for a piece of meat that big.
That's crazy.
I know, Laura. I know. I'm like, never mind. I ain't that hungry.
Right.
So when I ordered my food today from Walmart, I looked over at the tilapia. Because I will order tilapia too, right? And I'll order chicken legs. I'll order chicken legs because I really like thighs. But I'll order that, right? Yeah, because it's not that expensive. That's all. That's the only reason why. But
and plus it's not as bad on your health as
that's it.
Like pork and stuff like that.
That's it. And see the reason why what I thought about that, Laura, because I know you were saying how you used to move about and do certain things, and how you can't really do it no more. But I'm gonna tell you what, you my baby, right? I was looking at your picture with you beside that car. I was like, damn, she fine as move up. Did you hear what I said, Laura? I said, you fine. And one day you got up and you walked around talking about, I can't walk, I can't do this and that. And you start walking in the house. I was like, shit, she honey mother. I ain't tell you that.
Right. But see, I don't get around as good as I used to.
I know. But cause when me and you started talking, we was playing around about some things. And you already a beautiful woman. I already know that personally. But then just by seeing your face and knowing that you're beautiful, I seen that body. I was like, oh, you better not tell nobody I said that. You heard me, Laura? I know. That that's between us, baby, because we can joke like that. But
Right.
but
Sorry, I had to go back to my room and get my medicine.
Okay, I got you. Certain, I'm gonna say women that I met on TikTok, and we share numbers, and we just talk about life in general. So they're good people from what you feel about them, and she's one of them. And two, you try to respect each other and not step across certain lines. That's all I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
And she's another one that, be honest with you, if it ever came to that point and God got us this way, hey, because I basically know her, But two, we both in different cities. So, all of that has to come into play and everything. And I know her living arrangements, so that would have to all be one big agreement. So, which we ain't got to get deep into Willie. You know what I mean? But I already know. Right? So, out of respect, I try to keep the boundaries.
Yeah, he's not doing too good right now either. He got sick too.
Wow.
I got him sick. So.
Oh, you got him sick?
I wound up getting him sick because I'm sick. I mean, he's been trying to take care of me, so it's like, how me and Willie are. We're gonna take care of each other.
Right. Right.
It don't matter how sick we get. I mean, even when Willie wasn't able to walk because he get operations, and it's like I was right there. I was by his side. I wasn't gonna leave. So we take care of each other.
I know. I just hate to hear that, like what you're going through right now. Because to be honest, I know it's just you and Willie. I already know that.
All right. Yeah, ain't nobody else gonna come over and take care of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Even when Willie did get down, I mean, you think anybody else came over and helped us? Shit, no. I mean, I might have had to get my neighbor to come over a couple times because I couldn't lift up on Willie, but I mean, he didn't have a problem with that.
Now,
he's a good neighbor. He loves me and Willie. So
now, remember what I said? I just had to change out my thing on my arm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I hear it.
So
that's one of those too, yeah.
Yeah. So now look where my sugar level at. 68.
Yeah.
And I just took my insulin too.
That's not bad though.
No, it's not bad, but it's going down. Once the food get into the bloodstream, it'll start bringing it back up. The sugar level. But I just had to put it.
What a sugar level's supposed to be.
Well, once it dropped below 70, it's not good.
What's today? Friday?
Yeah.
Yep. Shoot, I've been missing some days because, baby, let me tell you, it's been rough. I've been laying up in the bed sick as a dog, baby. I promise you, I've been so sick. I ain't even been really on TikTok much. I know you probably noticed. But,
right, yeah.
I ain't been going live. I ain't been doing nothing, really. I went on live the other day while I was in the emergency room. It was like, what was it, last night or night before last? One of those nights. I still got my band on my arm. I need to cut it off. But,
okay. And see, yeah. let me share this with it saying, you got diabetes too?
No.
Okay.
Baby, I ain't got diabetes.
Thank God. But look, this is what it said.
I got high blood pressure, but I don't have diabetes.
Now, on average, when it goes up and down like this, on average, because of what I'm doing and everything, my level. Stop playing, David. I don't see how do you log off? Stop playing some kind of way. I'm gonna get you over here, David. I just seen your message. Now, on average, by us doing like this, my average level with my high-low runs me like 143 around there. So that's average. My GMI is saying now that's to show you where my A1C is at now, because this is a new set. It's 6.7. Right. So it's way under. That's just letting me know here, because I can go to the doctors and it might be about 7. Might be lower. I don't know. But this kind of keeps me up to where everything is at. So now it's saying, for the way it's been running up and down and leveling back out, that my A1C is at 6.7, which is below the average range.
Hey, do you know?
So I'm only saying that because this is how I keep up with it. And then I have the Clarity, right? That's my Dexcom that lets me know what it say over there. Then I have my Clarity, and my Clarity basically give me more information. So it's running the same, 143 for normal once it go up and down and balance back out, and then 6.7. That's why I kind of wonder, do I still need as much medication as I'm taking? Because to me, it's doing this and that too much, and I don't like it. And I would love, to be honest with you, if it came down to me eating like vegan food, huh? What is it, vegan? Okay. What is it, vegan food, herbs, stuff like that? I'm just at a point, be honest with you. However, like, I can do something else, eat something else. You know, basically what I'm trying to say, nutritional stuff, herbal stuff. That's where I want to go now. Even with the high blood pressure pill, because some days, like I said, Laura, if it's leveled out, I won't take it, because if I take it, it's going to drop. Now, if it tells me that when I do the reading, if it's too high, then I can take it. The other day, it dropped to the point, Laura, I'm talking about, I did my high blood pressure test, right? The first time I put it on my wrist, it said error. The second time I put it on my wrist to read it, it said error. Now, the third time I put it on, it read. Because I'm telling you, I went to go to the bathroom. I was about to go out. I'm like, oh, come on, because I knew something wasn't right. But once it cleared up, it said it was like 58 over 1. I mean, 50. It was 101 over 58, right? And I forgot what it said the heartbeat was, but that was up some. I was looking for it to say, you need to run to the emergency room. But then it gonna turn around and say, normal. I was like, normal my butt. I was about to fall out. But look.
I got one of those oximeters. I got an oximeter. It'll read your oxygen and it'll read your pulse, right? Let me tell you, my pulse will get up so high sometimes. It's like, man, should I go to the emergency room? I don't know. It'll get over 120 sometimes.
Look, I'm laughing because I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, do I need to call my son or the ambulance first? Do I need to call and tell him, boy, you better check on your dad? It ain't funny, Lord, when you doing stuff like that and you by yourself. And I'm like,
I know, right?
I'm like, look, I can't even sleep in the room with my door locked.
Pressure cuff too.
Right.
I got a blood pressure cuff too, and I mean, I be trying to take my blood pressure with my blood pressure cuff, and it reads weird. It really does. It'll read like my blood pressure's way low, right? But then I go to the emergency room, and it be up sky high.
It does that because you got you got, what is it, anxious or excited? Because normally, yeah,
calibrated. So.
Yeah, because it'll do that too. And normally some of them will tell you just lay there for about 10 minutes and they come back and check it. And it'll, you know, I can't tell you why that happens, but it happens.
Well, you know, they say your blood pressure is a silent killer.
Yeah, I know.
Believe it or not.
I know.
Because you never know when it's up. It's not like you really get symptoms. You do, but you don't realize them. Now, me, if I start getting real dizzy or get real hot, like I'm like a hot flash or something, I know my blood pressure is probably up. So,
I was getting ready to say, because I know you're right, but I was trying to see once it's up, because, you know, I get real loud. And I be trying to tell people, when I get loud, they be like, oh, you going to run your blood pressure up, you going to do this and do that. I said, no, that's excitement for me. See, I understand to them, it might look like, you know, he's like, oh, God, I was going to say in a state of mania, but no. And I try to tell people, because of the way I speak, I rise up. I do it anyway. It's like ministry to me. I'll start out at a certain level, but it's like once God take over, I'll go. And if you don't understand, you will think, yeah, I'm yelling and I'm screaming, but that's the way I minister. But you got to catch it. And a lot of times people won't catch it. And to them, they like, why are you yelling? Why are you screaming? I said, that's normal for me. Because I'm like in a war zone now. Boom, 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 boom. And that's what's happening with me. It's like you fighting against corruption, right? But they don't know. And I said I'm getting sick and tired of explaining that. Because I didn't know what it was at first. But being in the ministry itself. And me and this lady from Canada was talking the other day. And she said one word. She said one word that completely describes me as a whole. And she said, you are an evangelist, right? Now, being an ordained deacon is just a title that the church gave me. I already know that. Being a minister in my spirit, I already know that too. I believe that's what God ordained me as a minister, but to go back out in the community. And once she said that, she said, you are an evangelist. It talks about everything I do, my titles, and it just put it all into perspective because you're back out there doing what Jesus Christ and the disciples did. And I told her, I said, thank you. I'm going to read up on it. And when I did read up on it, I said what I'm gonna do for now on because I just want people to understand, just try to get an understanding of me when I come and not to take it so personal. If I tell people I'm a deacon, the first thing they go, oh, he's sleeping with the women in the church, he's doing this, doing that. I said, no, I'm not. So it's like they want to label you, which I'm so used to it. That's why I say it, right? Then saying that I'm a minister. When I get loud about certain things, you think I'm this evil, nasty man. No, that's how you trying to read me. No. And a lot of times when I go like that, it's normally an evil spirit attached to you that I'm talking to. And I don't want to tell you that because I don't want to scare you. But now I'm like, God, you know what? I'm going to just start using the word evangelist. And maybe that will help people understand more what I am. Because I wear so many hats as a community activist, as a community organizer, as a human rights advocate. I'm in the community. So when she says, Steve, you are an evangelist, and you look that word up, tells you everything I do. And it tells you basically that the stuff that I've been going through is the same stuff that the disciples went through. They was arrested. You know, they became homeless. And when I said that, because I went to prison and everything, so it showed me how, you know, the process went. So you got a lot of people that might know certain things or know scripture, but you have not lived it. And that's what I had to realize. I'm actually walking in a lot of their footsteps. And the lady mentioned Peter to me. And when she mentioned Peter and how Peter, well, all the disciples, y'all know, went to prison. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Christ did too.
They were bad people before they became disciples.
Yep. And that's why it trips me out.
One of them was a murderer.
All that. Yep.
One of them was a murderer. One was a rapist. The other one was like a thief. You had all kinds of people. I mean, just a violent person. I mean, you had all kinds of people in the disciples. So. And
see, this what gets me with a lot of people, right? You used to live your life a certain way, and now you don't live that no more. And you think you perfect. You think you holier than thou, right? And then when other people that is traveling that road that you was able to overcome, you'll turn around rather than helping them. You want to judge them and talk bad about them. And I'm like, whoa, you was once that person.
Right.
So who are we? To be honest with you, I made a statement towards Jamal Bryant. Somebody didn't put something out, right? And I came back in because I'm getting sick and tired of us as so-called religious people. I sent something back over there. God knew him and his wife before the foundation of this world. Just like he know each and every one of us. Our life was predestined before we came here in our mother's womb. He knew they was going to perform and act the way they do. Why is you minding their business? That was the whole point. Focus on your life. Y'all so busy talking about this man and his wife, and you supposed to be a Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized. You're a hypocrite. But look, the reason why I could say that, because look, I had to look at my life. I used to act like this. I used to be like that. I ain't like that no more. So why am I judge another brother or Christian? We fall down, we get back up. You learn from their mistakes.
And just like Jesus said, those without sin cast the first stone.
Oh, that's what I said yesterday, Dr. K. I said, those without sin. I remember one time I used to quote that. Those without sin, throw the first brick. I'm without sin, I'm going to throw a brick. And you know I ain't without sin, right? I'm going to throw a brick because I'm perfect. I joked about it, right? Because one thing I know, as long as I'm in this body, and a lot of y'all lie to yourself. As long as you in this body, you're going to fall short.
You will, sir. Yep.
And then I listen to how people will talk about somebody else's mistakes, Laura. And they'll sit back and say, I know he unalive himself for our grace and stuff like that. I know what he did. But it's like, look, the moment they say but, that's it. But it's like, but they shouldn't be doing this and that and this and that and that they. No, you don't do it if it's uncomfortable for you. That's why people get mad at me, because I flip it on you. The Bible is for the individual.
Yeah, Stephen, look, I'm gonna drop down, baby. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm still not feeling real good, and I took my medicine, and it's gonna kick in pretty quick. So
go ahead and rest up, Queen.
Drop down.
Okay.
I am. Call and check on me sometime, though. If you don't get an answer, I will call you. I do check my call log. I'll call you back.
Okay. And I love you, Queen.
I'm asleep that I don't answer. All right, I love you too.
All right, Queen.
And anybody on his other channel, I love y'all too.
Oh, they hear you. They hear you.
All right.
All right, Queen.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Steve. All right, bye-bye.
That's all, family. I'm gonna just say, as a human being, right? As a person that try to please other people, I'm not impressed by you now. I want to make that clear. You don't have to like me. And the sad part about it, a lot of y'all don't even know me. But you don't like me. I already know. I've been doing this for a real long time. Y'all know it. I got people hating me because of other people saying stuff about me for them to hate me rather than them taking out the time to get to know me. That's your problem, not my problem. I tell anybody, if you got anything you want to know about Steve Copeland, you can always come and ask me. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. That's all you got to do is watch some of my videos. It will tell you I talk about me. The truth and nothing but the truth. But you know what I found out? A lot of people will go by your goddamn lies from people talking about you rather than getting to know the man for itself. I've been through all of this, so I already know how we act sometimes. I just try not to do that to other people. If I want to know anything about you, I'm going to come and meet you. I guarantee you, y'all ain't like the way I said that, did you? But did you hear the boldness? Did you hear the strength? Did you hear the courage? If I want to know anything about you, I'm going to come and talk to you. Not based off of what everybody else say. Because I know how people can lie on you. I know how people can manipulate. I already know it. That's why I tell people, if you want to know who I am, whom I am, what I do, we can always talk. Call me. Right? That's because I don't play. And most of our politicians in Baltimore City that I deal with, they know how Steve is. Y'all don't. Because you ain't never took the time out to find out. I don't have to rob. I don't have to steal. I don't have to take from nobody. That's not my model. Any community event I go to, and believe me, the majority of them there are white. They're business owners, they're scientists, they're doctors, they're people that's coming to learn, mainly about the Black community. If you never lived the way we lived in the Black community, they don't understand it. So they want to get to understand the Black community a little better. The people that's living in houses with rats and roaches and all these bugs, and how you able to survive. So you know who sit with them and share with them? And all of them not white. They are doctors, they are scientists. Most of them didn't grow up in the inner poor cities. So all this is new to them. The same with the Republican Party. Because I'm in the community, a lot of them wanted to meet me to walk them through the community in the roughest neighborhoods in Baltimore City. When I pulled up in my white truck, they was amazed because they heard about this guy with the white truck that was giving people food and clothing and all of that in the city. They came out to meet me. Now, mind you, I'm not by myself. I'm with other organizations, but I'm doing my own little thing too. That's how I met Kimberly Clacy. That's how I met Don Cox. That's how I met Shannon Wright, Pastor Shannon Wright. They are Republicans. Christopher Anderson. Me and Christopher Anderson took them through Baltimore City. And the worst part of Baltimore City, I was amazed at the information that Christopher Anderson had while he was talking with them. Hey, Pastor, Happy New Year. Hey, Pastor, I miss you. Tell my deacon brother I say hi, Pastor. And I'm only sharing this, family, because I know when I open up my mouth, it's going to piss a lot of y'all off just because I even open up my mouth to say hi. A lot of y'all, there you go, he said hi. That's the part that trips me out. That's why I pick with y'all. That's why I be picking with y'all, because I know when y'all know, whenever Steve Copeland comes, I'm going to share certain things like what we can do to help turn stuff around. Yes, a lot of it is a real slow process. Yes. I realized that when I keep on saying when I was with Communities United, but I'm going to just say when I was at there and I was more involved, right? So I want to put it like that because I was a board member there for almost 2 years. But just before we went like to City Hall or Annapolis or DC, right? We would always come together and have a meeting just before because we're going to address certain bills, laws and stuff like that. So we would speak out about it. So they would ask me, Steve, we need you to come and talk on this bill, talk on that bill. But a lot of people would get, I always say a manuscript. They would get something that they had to read from, a prompt. I didn't want it because I always share from a level of personal experience compared to the laws that they're trying to create. Why it's important, why it's not important. So I came from a level of personal experience with everything for somebody that grew up in the poor communities. Because most of the laws that y'all don't realize that they create tends to affect the low to moderate income people. If you do not rely on the state and the government as much as the poor people do, those laws do not compare to you. If you live in, say, like a middle class life or conservative life, So you making more, basically you making way over the poverty rate. In Baltimore City, 40,000 and under is considered as low income. The poverty rate, poor people. Did y'all know that? 40,000 under for Baltimore City. Now 40,000 over, right, up to about, I'm gonna say the lower class, right? The lower class, over 40,000. No, that's the middle. I'm sorry. 40 over 40,000 up to about 200,000 is considered as middle class. Y'all are the type that do not need the state and the government as much. And I'm talking about the funding, right? Once you get, I'm talking about for Baltimore City, once you get past the 200,000, you're considered as, I want to say rich, right? once you, I'm trying to think of the three classes, right? Because once you get you got your poor people, you have your middle class, and then you have your rich. So once you get over that 200, it's like you're independent. You don't need the state and the government to take care. But you're gonna pay taxes out the yang. You know that, right? You know that. And you know, even if you make it under 40,000, you're going to pay state and government federal taxes. So if you're working at McDonald's and Burger King and they taking taxes out you, they might not be taking as much out of you because you make it under 40,000 compared to the one that's making way over 40,000. Come on, I remember when it switched up with my pay. The more I made, the more taxes I had to pay. I ain't complaining about it. I just paid them. I already know the more money you make, the more taxes you pay. That's why I be picking with y'all, and I be talking about people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and all of them. They worth hundreds of billions. Look at the goddamn taxes they got to pay back. So a lot of times they got to hide that money somewhere in order to do write-offs. I read up on all of that, Priscilla. I read up on that because I'm like, tell Elon Musk I need $10 million to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses in Baltimore City. They are your philanthropists. They are your philanthropists. I know a couple of billionaires in Baltimore City right now. And I know you know them too, Patricia. Bob Wallace is one. A black man. He ran for mayor twice. I was trying to reach out to him. His cousin gave me his number. She said, Steve. She said, he ain't gonna give you no money, but he'll guide you to the people that will. I said, okay. And I'm talking about somebody that I'm doing temporary housing, right? Preparing them to get into a permanent place. So you got to start somewhere. Temporary to help them get into a permanent place. Then you want to teach them how to maintain their place. Then you want to teach them how to pay their bills on time. Then you want to help them, the ones that need it, to get career professional type jobs. So they won't have to depend on the state and the government. This is how my program is all designed. I share this with y'all every time. It's 5 phases in my program. During graduation, you get the key to your affordable place. So when you're ready to move into your own place, you get the key to your permanent place. I can start sharing this with some of y'all on TikTok about my 5-phase process, and you'll cut me right off without letting me finish. Can tell you everything we're doing to help break that post-traumatic slavery disorder or syndrome. Huh? Yeah. Break the slave mind mentality. That's why you had to help people change this around, turn this around. Because the information that they're living off, right? If it caused them to fall on hard times, and sometimes that's because either you're not managing your money right, you don't know how to budget, you don't know how to, live within your means. The goal is we got to teach you how to be more financially responsible. If you don't know how to make market, somebody can teach you how to shop. If you don't know how to, this is normally your PRP. If you don't know how to wash clothes and all this type of stuff, that's their job to help prepare you. So please tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for years. If the PRP that's with you, they normally help you get your IDs and everything. Okay? Already know what their position is. And if we feel as though you need a therapist because you're dealing with some inside trauma, me and that PRP will talk. She will talk with me, and I will request for my medical provider, my mental health program provider, to sign you up for therapy. I will. With my mental health care provider. If me and the therapist talk and we feel like you need to talk with a psychiatrist during this time because you have bipolar, you have schizophrenic, you have PTSD, anything that mentally and emotionally bothering you, psychologically, and we feel as though you need that balance back out with medication, that's when we will sign you up for a psychiatrist, because they have to diagnose you and see where you at. Do you need it? No, you might not need it. With other ways they can work with you. But once it's out the therapist's hand, the therapist will be there. But once it's out the therapist's hand, we're moving you to the third level. If you don't do what I do, don't you ever tell me, that's not you. Don't you ever tell me. And I tell you, this is the business. But then you're going to tell me, I've been doing this basically, I know 2017, probably a little bit before 2017, when me, Claudia, and Chef and us was together. But you're going to tell me I don't know what I'm doing. I done seen so many people get into housing. I done seen so many people get on meds to help balance them out. I done seen clients that got on meds and felt like, I don't need this no more. And it got to the point they stopped taking it. You give them about a week, because I see it. You give them about a week, right, of them not having their medication because it's actually leaving the body. That's when the behavior, they go into a state of mania where their mind is rushing. I was sharing this the other day, Miss, when you came up on my platform and tried to tell me, no, that's not I tell. But I was sharing from a personal experience of something else. It's a big difference when you see it hands-on compared to me sending them to you. That's a therapist. So I'm seeing the behavior. I'm seeing 1 minute, and I was thinking about this family. I see it 1 minute when we sitting there talking and we praising God, and they're, we having conversation, and their mind is connecting very well and communicating very well. And then all of a sudden you give them, say like when they stop taking their medication and y'all talking and just talking about God and the spiritual stuff, and it gets to the point it's starting to be hard for them to gather their thoughts and communicate with you like they normally do. And then it clicks me, bam. I'd be like, oh my God, when the last time you had your medication? About a week ago. Why you ain't tell me? So now we got to get them with the psychiatrist to get back on. Because they might sit back and say, well, the prescription wasn't sent, whatever reason, right? But the goal is now I got to reach out to the psychiatrist because I know they feeling better. But now they think they can make it without the meds. And I try to tell my clients, if you're diagnosed with any type of mental illness, or I don't want to use that word too much, but psychological issues, right? If you're diagnosed with any of that and they put you on meds, yes, sometimes you're going to feel, once you get balanced out, or for whatever reason, it might make you sleep more, it might do this, might do that. But if it's making you feel uncomfortable, like it's keeping you tired all the time, knocking you down, sometimes you have to talk with the psychiatrist so she can balance it out. Not only is the medication to balance you out, whenever you take the medication, they have to give you I'm trying to think of the word because strategy is coming to mind, but it's like a program. They got to teach you too. When you taking the medication, I'm going to just say this real, because I had to learn all this. Whenever you taking meds to deal with you mentally, emotionally, you got to focus on something positive. You got to. Because what tends to happen, say like if you're feeling down and out, you will go into a state of depression. So it takes it's a fight not to just go there and self-wallop. Oh my God. It takes work to work up out of it. So reason why I'm saying is because over 30 something years ago, when my marriage got messed up, then the relationship was messed up. I was in a state of depression. And they taught me what to do. So whenever you get into that hollow state, you got to focus on something positive. You got to. Because that's the only way you're going to combat that. So I looked at this, right? I always wanted to go horseback riding. That was one of the little visions that, I had. And I always wanted to ride in the helicopter. Now, I went horseback riding, but I haven't got in the helicopter yet. So when I ride past this one spot that has the helicopter there, I'll be like, ooh, I'm going to go there. But that's what I look forward to, you get me? So the only thing I'm saying, I'm trying to think of the name of how we set up. I'm trying to think of the proper names because I already know what to do is just saying the name, right? You got to give people something to live for, to hope for. Like if a person tell you, say like they're 30, and they say by the time I turn 35, 33, I want to go to Alaska. I always wanted to go to Alaska. You start helping them with ways and means like a program and saving money to go to Alaska. If they give you, say, like 2-3 years, that's giving them time to price the trip, save the money for the trip, and save money to spend. So they are preparing for it. You might get somebody to say they got an older car, right? And they want a brand new one. But they can't afford it right now. They might need to get a better paying job. You know what I tell my children? Any job you work at, give them a year first. Give them a year. Give them a year. It might not be, once you get there, you might not like what's what, you might not like what's going on, but you're going to turn around and quit. Don't never quit a job without having something else lined up. These are the things I had to teach my kids. My kids never work at a McDonald's or Burger King or none of that. I never worked at a McDonald's, Burger King, or none of that. My daughter worked at one law firm when she got her bachelor's of art degree. I think she gave them 6 months and she moved to another one. And guess what? I don't know how she do it. I don't even ask. She always plan trips. Normally, you know, when you at a job, you got to get time in to go on vacation and stuff like that. I don't know how she do it. She ends up on a vacation. That's none of my business. She sets it up. She do what she got to do. She gone. And if she don't like what's happening at this job right here, and I'm talking about a law firm, if she don't like certain things, she gonna go to another one. I don't say nothing. But the thing is, what I tried to teach her, at least give them a year, because they don't have a problem with getting a job, right? That's not a problem. And I'm talking about all of them can get a job. That's why I don't worry about that. But my thing is, I want them to at least give that owner, you know, at least a year, because it looks good. It looks better on your record. I don't want them to be at this job for 6 or 7 months, then move to another job, then move to another job, because it seems like you don't have no stability. You get me? So I had to tell my children, because I had to learn it. At least give them a year. And if you decide to go to another job and they ask you why you want to leave that job, the other job, you should be making more money. So if you're leaving this job to go to the next job, you let them know basically it was to improve your income, because you don't want to badmouth the job. Anytime I was at a trucking job, right, made good money. And if I left your job after a year or two to go somewhere else, I know what I can bring to your business, and you're going to pay me for it. You heard what I just said? I know how I can benefit your business with the work that I do as a truck driver, as a tractor trailer driver. I'm daggone good at what I do. So I know what I can bring to your business to help you make money, because the money you make will help me make money. That's the way I used to carry your family till I retired. And right now, to date, if I ever decided to go back to trucking, I know the profession that I carry inside of me. And to be honest with you, unless something happened in that sense because of the road I'm on, I would start my own goddamn trucking company. What I'm going to go and work for somebody else for? Try me. Try me. And that's all I got to do. If I decide to go and create my own, go to those warehouses that I used to deliver to and bring them their pallets cheaper than the people that they're using, like FedEx. Like A. Dewey Powell. Because you're only paying for your space with that one pallet. And if they charging you 100, I can charge you 58 for that one pallet. So is you going to keep giving it to them, or you going to say, Steve, I need you to go get these 5 pallets? The sooner I can go get them and drop them back off to you, I can do another one. The quicker I go get it and drop it back off to you, I can do another one. That's how goddamn good I am. But I'm old now. I'm old. Now, guess what? I know what I could bring to make your business grow. So why not start your own business? I know what God put in me, because it's not really me. That's why a lot of y'all get lost. It's not me. This is the Holy Spirit that's guiding this guy with a 9th grade education to be successful the way he is. When certain things got shut down, God said, I got something bigger and better for you. This 2026, right? I already know what happened in 2025. I know where he took me. And it's not for me to go backwards. Okay? Because I see the progression of what he's doing. And the thing is, I got something bigger and better for you to do, my son. I said, okay. And the thing is, he got to prepare me to do it. I got to be the one that's prepared to do the work he called me to do. And it's not about y'all. My thing is, if God gave you a vision or the Holy Spirit is leading you and guiding you, right? And if the Holy Spirit is leading you and guiding you and say, hey, you need to connect with Steve, it's like a puzzle. You just bring your expertise here. I had to tell a guy the other day that I had to let go that was with me. Talking all this Gucci God-fearing stuff, right? Talking all, had my back. I'm telling you, I thought this man had my back and everything. I had to let him go. He called me, right, saying Happy New Year's. I hung up on him. He called me again. I hung up on him. I sent him a message. I said, it was nice meeting you and everything, but you let me down. You turned your back on me. Y'all was trying to steal my business behind my back. He act like he ain't remember nothing. What I'm going to let you close to me for now? Why am I going to let you close to me? God already showed me who you really was. So he going to send me something like, well, I didn't do that. Yes, you did. Don't reach out to me no more. Broke my heart. I had to let him go. He was the same one that told me, let's build a corporation of blacks. Only business. That's why I had that meeting before, Patricia. I invited black owners out for us to come together as one. Everything this man told me to do, I prepared it. And then he gonna complain about it. No, you didn't do it. I was bringing other businesses in there. We still talk, but everybody got their own thing. It's just for us to come together under that one umbrella. But you know what people have a tendency of doing? Because I'm a go-getter, because I'm a stand-up person. And I'll start moving a lot quicker and faster than you, and then you'll turn around and get mad. Oh, he's trying to take over this. No, he's not. I told him, I said, everything you asked me to do, I did. And because, guess what? Now, my words are clear, and everybody in there speak English. But I think he was from, not Jamaica, but one of them places like that. They ain't understand a damn word he was saying out of his mouth at our meeting. And when I started hearing him speak, right, I was like, shh. Only because a lot of people didn't understand his language. I had everything lined up. Had the diagram of the program set up from temporary housing, how we walk them from this and bring them on down. So as they get the key to their permanent housing, you know, just showing them, I had to show everything. Devin, for y'all to think I don't know what I'm doing, I already know this is nothing new to me. When it comes to having business meetings, we got the drinks, we got the snacks, all that's set up. And it all depends on how I might feel. I might want somebody to fry some chicken. I might want them to lay it out like that. It all depends on who's coming. But you want to do the presentation. You want to set everything up so it'll look beautiful and professional. And y'all will sit up here and talk with me like I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll sit there and look at you like you dumb as all hell outdoors. I ain't trying to be smart, family. I'll do it. I'll do it. Because if you try to make me think I don't know what I'm doing, I'll back up off you something. All right. I'm good at what I do. The only problem, because I have to do some other stuff, right, is getting that goddamn money. Getting that free money. I'm trying to get the free money. So you know I got to line myself up with people that knows where the free money is at. I'm not talking about 100,000. I'll take it. I'm not talking about 200,000. I'll take it. I'm talking about millions. When you're talking about rehabbing and revitalizing houses, right? Who are the type of people that I need to get more involved with? Normally commercial developers. When you talking about rehabbing and revitalizing houses in the inner city, you talking about getting with developers, real estate investors. Let me go there too, because I was looking at the guy that redid this mall over here, black guy, over in Morgan. I got his information because I know he's still doing work in here. So the goal is, when that time presents itself, to go talk with him. It's lining everything up. I already know who to go talk to at the city. But guess what? You come my way, your money got to be in order when you want developing property. We can't go to them people with no bull crap. I was waiting for you, bro. You talking about you wanted me to partner with you because I know the politicians, right? You never sat down and really explained to me what you wanted done. I knew who to go to. I was waiting on you. And then I had to turn around and tell you about it. Because a lot of y'all talk the game. And I know you're doing the business, but now you slowed up on the rest of your project. And I ain't even going to say your name. But I guarantee you, knowing that they holding that money back to finish off your project, that's all you had to do was tell me who's keeping what from what. That's all. You should have sit and talked with me. Whatever little extra funding that you might have need to flatten that place out. It's not flatted out, leveled out. And you haven't been able to touch it in years now. Now you got to get the money to do the reconstruction. I already know. Once you start telling me what was what. That's all you got to do. And I'm going to tell you, over the years, family, that I have been doing what I have been doing, I done got in touch with a lot of our political figures. You have to know who does the contracts for the minority contractors here in Baltimore City. I ain't even going to say the name. Already know. So when you got a black man, right? Because I was going to say woman. But when you got a black man that wants a contract, developer's contract, a black company, that's the minority contractors, is somebody, and I'm not going to say their name, that you can actually go to and talk to if you know who it is. Now, let me share this one. In Baltimore City, Sean Stinton, and if I'm not saying his last name right, Sean, Stinnet, is the one. Now, he might have changed it because he got into politics now. That's the one that does the, like if a women, that's why I had to separate it, right? He worked with the black women to get them contracts. I mean, business-wise, money for their business. Now, I'm going to mention Sean because Sean, my boy, I got to mention Sean in Baltimore City. That's his, in the city hall, that's his, you know what I'm saying, district, right? That's what he do. That's Sean. But it's for the women, black women. So a lot of women that's opening up businesses, right? You can talk with Sean to get the proper money, but you know your paperwork, all that got to be lined up. Now, I just threw the name at you because I know that's his position. But now, if I'm not mistaken, he just won, not too long ago, a position in the House of Delegates now, right? But I think he's starting to run for council member, if I'm not mistaken. I think he get ready to run for council as well. So he's moving up. And the he's at the mayor office anyway. So he's moving up, you get me? And the reason why I mentioned Sean name, family, because I'm just amazed at him because he worked hard for the people. And he worked with our youth, right? And they have a summer program, or they have a program, all year program, around the year, where you know, they cut grass, they do a lot of stuff. Certain things I can't bring up here because TikTok cut me off last time. They blocked me for some of the stuff I showed. But yeah, I'm gonna put this down because I don't need them to flag my thing. Sean, Coy McCray, Senator Coy McCray. These people are in the community dealing with the people. Now, the way I keep up with them, they're on LinkedIn. So I'll go on LinkedIn. This is how I connect with them. I'll post stuff over LinkedIn too. But this is what helps me to understand the work that they're doing in the community and the colleges and all of that. And the reason why I commend them, because they are politicians, but they are active politicians. Some people don't come out and mingle with the people, or they come out once in a blue moon to mingle with the people. But people like James Torrance, Antonio Hayes, Donnie Glover, these are your politicians, but they are active in their communities. And that's what I love about it, because you got so many of them, right, that are politicians and stuff in their district, but they're not out mingling with the people. Even though they can't start programs, intervention type stuff, resolution stuff within the community to help. I mean, to do themselves, but they will come out and support you. So it'll make it look like it's something they doing. Come on. I'm down with it all. And it'll make everything that you're doing look good, just to have Governor Hogan here, or just to have Governor Westmore. Because when Governor Westmore come out to visit Squeaky, stuff like that, right? Or with We Ours Us, or with I'm trying to think of some more names, right? I got the list here. But once your governor come out to your community event, once the mayor come out to your community event, it makes them look like they actually put the event on, but they didn't. They came out to support the person. You invite them out. And some of them, will point you to the direction of the money, because they know which group that, you know, say like you dealing with a lot of the children. They know what, like investors, they know what other business partners, mainly the ones that can give you product to get back to the community. They'll introduce you to these type of people. I'm sharing it with you personally. Because when you hear me say stuff like, I can get box spring mattresses, clothes, food, all of that to get back to people. And then I tell you, I used to drive a tractor trailer, so I know where a lot of these warehouses at that have stuff abundantly. And they might have brought a new product. So they have a certain area where they have some of the old product. You can still use it now, but they have old products. They will donate them to Africa and all that. But matter of fact, one place I used to go to get my sheets and pillowcases and all of that, they had a whole area that we could get. Then this African guy came in and he started paying them for the product. I couldn't knock it because I wasn't paying. But they told me to get with the guy who was paying to see if I can get pallets off him. You can always do stuff. That's why I open up my big mouth to share this with y'all. I want a 28-footer box truck. I want a 28. I can get more pallets on it. I want a 28. But guess what? I want somebody to give it to me. And please don't tell me they won't. You just got to go know where to go. And just, if they got one, they want to sell for $5,000, right? Give you a little example. That's the 28-footer. They got a price on it for $5,000. You talk with the owner and you let them know what you're doing in the community of giving stuff back to the people. Can he do a write-off with it? Tax write-off. You just give him a receipt for it. And guess what? If his heart is really there, he can also say this too. Keep the receipt, you can have it. That's what Hamel Builders did for me when they gave me that 16-foot box truck. Mr. Hamel, the lady came out and said, Mr. Hamel said, you can have it. So don't ever tell me what cannot be done. If we need hardwood flooring, I know places that does that and have like an area where they might have upgraded this product, right? Hardwood flooring and stuff like that, better quality. I'm just saying. And they got an area where they got stuff, and you know a lot of the stuff they wholesale, right? Because it's still good stuff, but they do wholesale. So when somebody like myself come in and announce who I am and what's going on and what I do, and I just show them who I am. That's all. And a lot of times they be like, all right, we got this over in that area. You can have this, you can have that. Basically anything, I'm telling y'all. Washer, dryers, air conditioning, all of that. That's why I don't worry about nothing. Because when you know certain places, say like in the building, the elevator needed fixed. I used to deliver to an elevator company out near College Park. So if I had to go out there and explain to them what I'm doing with this building and everything, and I need their help, do you think they wouldn't have sent nobody out? And they wasn't the only one. But now the reason why I could say this, driving a tractor trailer for as long as I have, I begin to meet the owners of these warehouses. See, I know my stuff, but to be honest with y'all, I'm old now. I'm a little bit too old. So it's like I need people That's why I had to put a team together so I won't exert myself. I can't do it all by myself now. So a lot of times when I come on here and talk the way I do, I need us to come together. I need us to come together. And y'all will judge me for everything. I don't like the way he look. I don't like those color glasses he got on. I don't like he ain't got his teeth in his mouth. Oh, he look like he need to start shaving. Well, I will. I already know because I was looking at this today, right? I'm like, dang, I gotta trim my stuff up. Yeah, it's coming up too much. And then I might want it to come up. So, I'm talking about me. But I still look good. You still look damn good. You can't take that away. But I'm only saying it because y'all know I get real sarcastic, being smart. But yeah, I need y'all. And it's like, I be telling myself, Steve, don't nobody want to hear this bull crap. They don't give a hell about the people, Steve. They don't care about the homeless and the less fortunate people, Steve. They don't care, Steve, how the young men and women that's aging out of foster care, they giving them a check. Some of them they are putting in places. Some of them they are. But the ones that normally reach out to somebody like me is the ones that slip through the crack, you know, that felt like they don't want to help. That feels like, I'm sorry, they don't want to help them. Those are the people that normally I run into. You know how I said it is when you meet a 21-year-old. And one I met under the bridge when we was under there, 21-year-old man. He said they gave him a check for $700 something and put him out. He became homeless. But keep in mind too, he needed some help mentally, right? And I would talk to him. If he got into a place, he didn't come in my place, he went somewhere else. And him and the owner got into it, almost fought or whatever, right? And the owner put him out. So he was back down at the camp. This is the stuff I see. So if a lot of y'all not in it and you on the outside of it like this, and you don't actually see what's happening to the people, you might talk about it and act like you really care. But actually you don't even understand what you're doing. Say it. One of the reasons I could not, and right now to this day, hang out in the cold too much, the tip of my fingers will freeze on me. They are numb up top because, you know, I shot being shot. I ain't mean shot like that. I meant like with the taking insulin. But doing my finger pricks. That's what I was trying to get to, TikTok. And all of this is kind of numb, right? I could feel it. But if you go to hit me, I tell them, they be like, how many hit you? I was like, go ahead, I can't, you know. But anyway, if I'm out in the cold, I brought some gloves and the tips of my fingers still basically froze. I said, no, I got to grab something to put here with my gloves. When I put my finger in, because my hand in, because I mainly have to do this because I'm scared if they get too numb, I might lose them from freezing. And I brought some gloves. I put another pair of thin gloves into those gloves, and the tip of my fingers still got cold. And I had to end up putting them in my pocket, or I got to do this to keep them warm when I'm out like that. That's why I would go under the bridge, and I couldn't stay for so long because once my fingers got cold, I had to go. But or go inside the building, right, the trailer. But for me to hang outside, just like right now, I want to walk to the store. I'm gonna put my gloves on. I'll put everything on. But if these are not covered And I think what I might have to do is get some type of gloves that's heated in the inside. I just gotta look them up where it would keep the tip of my fingers warm when I have them on. So I might have to look up some the special gloves that's heated, but will mainly keep the tip of my fingers, these fingers heated. Because if I'm not careful for what I'm doing, if they freeze, I might get a freezer burn. You know what I mean? It might burn them and I might lose it. I'm honored to be almost 64. Because when I look back over my life, right, and traveling down this road, I don't regret nothing. And the reason why I say that, family, is because they was lessons to be learned. They was lessons. And certain things that happen in your life and you're able to live through it and survive it, you know somebody else gonna come behind you and experience either the same things or somewhat the same thing. Then you know somebody else gonna come behind. Because we're not the only people on this earth. That's why it opens up my mouth, because I never know who need to hear whatever come out of this. I never know. That's why I share a personal experience. And then the process, I was going to say part of the process, but a process of how I was able to come up out of it a day at a time and be happy, joyous, and free. If you see me up here crying, that don't mean that I'm still suffering with no pain. Don't put that in your mind. It's a sigh of relief. See, sometimes, and I'm just saying, these therapists and stuff like that, and I'm gonna put it like this because I don't want to mess with your profession. I do not. This is my thing, right? Mainly when I talk about men's mental health. I'd rather for you to yell, scream, get loud, however you feel, to express yourself, than to start destroying stuff that can cause you to go to prison. Did that fly right over your head? So if a man is hurt and he's yelling, he's screaming, he's like, wilding, I'm gonna just say wilding, but he's not doing nothing destructive. Did you miss the word? Destructive. Sometimes when you trying to control your feelings and your emotions and you trying to stand strong, and next thing you know, you will bust. That's because you're trying to hold everything in and deal with it like this. And now to get to the point, it just like explodes. And then you want to sit back and say, right, which it is, but you want to say it to make him look bad. Oh, he felt weak to his feelings and emotions. Because he got tired of trying to play strong with him. Oh, you forgot that part, didn't you? So that's why I say this, family. Because that goes back to a man ain't supposed to cry. And I'm not downgrading your profession and how you was taught and how you study and how you get your PhD and your DAA and your OCC and this and that, because you was taught how to do conflict resolution and you was taught all this. I ain't got this stuff, but I know how to teach them because I had to learn it for myself. I can walk you through a process. Y'all will work them through the process. I can walk you through. Because once you're able to relate, we can relate to each other. You coming from a textbook, you coming from studying other people's behaviors and all that type of stuff to try to tell somebody how to apply certain things in their lives. Because you studied. You did your research. I come with a level of personal experience. Come here. I'm glad you didn't bust that window. I'm glad you didn't pop that person. I'm glad you didn't beat her down. I'm glad you held yourself back. You're a strong, powerful person. Because they already feeling like crap. So the goal is to build them back up. Because a lot of times when they over the prison, they mad because it's like, well, I should have walked away. I should have this. I should have that. Now they behind bars. Well, they didn't want to listen. No, that's the way they vent it. In a destructive way. Because they didn't know how to do it in a more healthier way. That's why it opens up my mouth. I don't have no PhD. I'm the same young man, 14, 15, running around with a pew-pew. I'm the same young man that had a hatchet stick that I would beat your tail with. I ain't had no problem. I took a car jack, the old one that stood up like this, and I beat a guy with it. I don't never, ever want to act like that again. That guy not gone that far. I'm talking about me. That no good crooked sucker is just arrested a day at a time. I don't want him to show up. I don't want him to act like that. I'm talking about me. So if you think in your heart and in your mind that when I get loud, that I'm out of control, no, he's not. No, he is not. Believe me, I ain't nothing like I used to be. When I rear up like that, my mouth is my biggest weapon for the body of Christ. And people like myself, I'm not fighting against none of y'all. Okay? None of y'all. When I open up my mouth, I'm talking about the people that tends to wants to hold us back, enslave, and oppress us. I'm not talking about you unless you one of them. Back up. Okay? Back up. And my goal is not to I don't play it. I don't play it. And it ain't that I'm being smart. It's like a calling on my life to stand up against this stuff. We can call it evil. You want to talk about the devil. You want to talk about this. You want to talk about that. Y'all know that the devil is, and the rest of his homeboys are in the dungeon waiting to be released. But it's evil out here. We already know that. right? But they're not, this is the way my pastor taught us, right? They're not as strong as the devil and his buddies. So yeah, we dealing with evil. But when my pastor put that like that, said they are not as strong as the ones that's in the dungeon. And what that taught me, it made me feel more powerful when it come to fighting against corruption, when it come to fighting against evil, because it's not the individual, it's the practices. And when you begin to see it from a spiritual perspective, you know what's happening. Oh, the system designed this, all that we know. But a lot of times y'all will say stuff for conversation like it's something new. And it might be new to you, that's fine. Because it became new to me. I ain't paying a lot, look, come on. I ain't paying a lot of attention to this bull junk. That's why I say once I was blind, but now I see. My eyes was closed to a lot of the stuff that I see today. You could not tell me the way I was living and practice certain behaviors I'm trying to get to, that I was wrong. You couldn't tell me. Even though it was wrong, I had to see it for myself. And I tell people that. I say, even though a person is doing something wrong, you know it's wrong, but you justify to make it right. So it don't make sense, if you get me, until you begin to see it for, God dang it, I was wrong. But guess what? It took me to go through that, come out of that, and I can sit back and say today that a lot of stuff I used to do, I just don't do no more. Some stuff fell off. Some stuff, I'm going to say in a sense, you repented from. You was redeemed, however you use it. And as I begin to get older now, I can sit back and say, a lot of the stuff I used to do, I just don't do no more. Because I'm older now, and it just don't feel right. And then somebody turn around and say, so you repented, right? Yeah, if that's what you want to call it. I already know. Then you got certain people, right? I seen you down there, bro. I know you there. Watch your story, hear your story, and we'll turn around and tell your story, but make you out to be a crook. I could never do that to nobody. If you are who you are, that's fine. But you know deep down, you know, if you know Steve Copeland in Baltimore City, you know Steve Copeland not into a lot of that bull crap. You know it. Y'all know it. But y'all will sit back and listen to people say, Steve this, Steve that, Steve this. And y'all know that's not Steve. And I be getting phone calls, right? I try not to pay a lot of attention. Oh, they over there saying this about you. They saying that about you. It's okay. Because I ain't out there with y'all like that. And y'all believe it. I'm trying to be careful, right? And the good part about it, when you know you are doing all the right things by the Holy Spirit, that's why I had peace in my life. And people will create stuff. I had it happen a lot of times on you, charges and all that on you. I had it happen a couple of times. It wasn't just the police and the detective. It was an ordained deaconess, that filed charges against me too that I had to turn myself in. Because I wouldn't jump on their side. So I became the bad person. It was one lady that wanted me to have a relationship with her. I didn't. So she filed charges against me, said I was stalking her. They're going to sit up there and tell the judge, he said he don't date women his age. And he said he don't date 600-pound women. She told on herself. So the judge was like, well, why should he stalk you? If he don't date women his age and he don't date women 600 pounds. I said to myself, I did not say 600. I said over 200. I said that to myself. But she didn't prove her case. So the judge threw it out. Then she turned around, went downstairs, did something else, and sent it down to Annapolis. Down on Patapsco. Dragged me through all that for them to turn around and just throw it out anyway. Because I wouldn't be her man. And please don't let me talk about the young lady gonna bust in my office. And you sitting up there running off at your mouth. Me and my staff was sitting in the room in one area. She bust past them and went in my office. You don't go in my office. And went into my paperwork. And then, yeah, I recorded the video of what happened. Because I didn't do nothing wrong, but people want to twist it to fit their narratives. We can be real messy. I try not to do that to nobody. If I see you doing certain things, that I respect you where you at, because that's you. That's what you do. But I will remove myself from you when I spot it. Because I feel like if that's what you do to make your living, that's your stuff. I ain't trying to go no prison for nobody. I'm talking about business-wise, crooked stuff like that. I'm not. That's why ain't too many people can come back and say, Steve doing this, Steve doing that, Steve. No. Y'all be trying to throw me and stuff. And I only like in certain places, because a lot of the people on Facebook, y'all already know. I might see some of your stuff that you post, right? But I'm not in it where whatever functions that might be going on, I'm talking about chaos and confusion stuff, right? I watch, and I'm going to say this, Christina. When Christina came down to the building about some bull jump, I watched Christina get in her goddamn van, start talking about me on live. And then me and Christina got to talking, right? And she was steady going blah, 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 because she believed what the person told her. I shut my mouth and let her talk. She was going blah, 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 blah. And when she finished and I was able to talk, I said, Christina Flowers, you know I ain't nothing like that. Why are you doing this? I said, you know I ain't like that. Why would you even believe it? And that's what surprised me. You know me. You allow somebody else to say some bad stuff about me to you, and you coming for me. And I shut my mouth and let her get it out. She said this, she said that, she said this. Now you're talking to me. That's your problem. And I shut up. Number one, because I know Christina. And once she was off that level, you know me better than that. Come on. You know I don't even roll like that. Mainly when it comes to us dealing with the homeless population, because she was the one that gave me the title as homeless advocate. She was the one that told me, right? Like, if somebody in your program, they homeless, you don't want to throw them out of the program. I learned this from Christina. You do not want to throw a homeless person out to be homeless again. You don't want to throw them out. But if you can't keep them in, what you do, you take them down to a shelter. This is what Christina taught me, right? You take them down to a shelter and leave them there so they cannot say that you kicked them out to be homeless again. Because if the shelter don't let them in, that's not your fault. You took them somewhere to get the help now. So that's what helped me to understand, never kick a person out to be homeless again. She taught me all that. And I had to remind her, you the one taught me not to do this and not to do that. And you gonna, Christina, don't hurt me. And you gonna turn around and believe that bull junk somebody saying about me. Who do you think I learned how to be the homeless person I am? From you. You taught me very well. You taught me the people to go to. Me and her sitting up here, right, because of the incident that happened. Somebody sent her from, was it Housing or Homeless Services? They sent her an email because of some stuff that was happening at the building. Trish, I don't know if you're still there. But one thing I know, if you threaten people in the project and you threaten to just throw them out, we're going to call the news on you and everything. Because the goal is you don't just throw them out without them having somewhere to go. So now we got to get other people involved. I already knew the process. Look me in my face. I already knew. That's why that phone call went to Christina, because the thing was, and she backed up off it, I was going to get the news people involved with all this. Because of what had happened. And I'm not going to go too deep. But I was waiting. Because what was going to happen, the person that sat up there and said they don't want children in that building, they started discriminating against the children. I'm not the one you want to talk to now. It was okay for the mothers or the males to stay, but the children had to go. That's what it was. See, a lot of y'all run off at your mouth when you don't know what's really happening. That's why I said, if anybody want to talk to me about anything, referring to the business side of stuff, you can go and ask any and everybody you want. But if you're not talking with Steve Copeland, then you're going to get some phony, fake, stretch it all you want information. So what that's going to do is confuse you. Because you're going to believe that bull crap that somebody else tell you until you get here to see the truth. Then you might not really, because now you're confused. Well, they said this right here, and this sound better than what he really did. Because now you lost. Why the hell you want to do that to yourself? Why, if you want to know the truth about something, right, you don't go to that individual, but you want to go to this person, that person, and this person, and that person, but you need to go to who they trying to say that did whatever that's not right, blah, blah, blah. So you'll get a better understanding. That's where that he said, she said, that said, who said what coming at. Now you lost. That's why I don't do it. I'm telling you, look, I listen to you, I listen to you, I listen to you, but you the one that they talking about that's trying to get me to stay away, but this is the truth compared to everything else. Now I'm lost and confused. That's why I'll be like, If you want to know something, I'm going back to the business and all that, right? If you really want to know something for yourself, you better go to the person that you really want to hear it from. Until you see something different from that person that you really want to hear it from, then you know what they were saying is the truth. But why are you going to believe what they saying is the truth and you haven't even dealt with the truth yet? You see what I'm saying? See how confusing it is or it sounds? And I'm just playing this right because this happens. It happens. That's why I try not to listen to everybody. Oh, she said this over here. He said that right there. This one, this right here. I'm telling you. And you know, at one point in your life, you might like to hear stuff like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What? I'm telling y'all, as I got older, I ain't trying to hear that bull crap. I ain't trying to hear it. Unless I could see it with my own two eyes. And I could be like, oh my God, they right. Something like that, you know. But other than that, no. And I'm just saying, I learned that throughout the years. Certain things I don't see for what, you know. And I'll go and try to investigate stuff just to have a little bit more, well, a clear understanding of what's what. And if it's not that important to me, I'm like, I ain't worried about that bull crap. Because I'm not trying to take your stuff, right? And I'm just saying the bull crap, chaos, confusion, stuff like that. I'm not trying to make it mine. Do y'all know how much work that takes? Do y'all know the work that it takes not to like want to be in on all of this bull crap all the time? You might come over a little bit to peep in. Oh, real, ow, ooh, ow, ow. And then look after a while, you're like, oh, I got back up. Because you're doing it to be nosy. You get me? What? Ooh, ah, ooh. But then when it don't feel right in here, that's the point. When it don't feel right in my spirit, I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go. Because it don't feel right here. I was listening to everybody laughing and playing on this other thing. It did not feel right to my spirit. I had to back up. Wherever they at, they enjoying themselves, degrading each other, putting each other down, telling all these different types. To me, they lies. And believing in it, I'm like, hey, that's y'all. I want to be a part of it. If that's how y'all work. Mm-mm. And I probably share this part right here when I get ready to do my little clips for TikTok. Cause I'm only saying that because I want certain people to hear certain things. And I can only post like a 60-second clip. Try to do 2 minutes sometime. Just to start at a point and then go to you know, talk about something but take it to another level. Cause like I said, you never know who might need to hear what I'm saying out my mouth. I don't know who I'm talking to. But I know when I come on my lives, it's a reason for when I come on. And each time I come on, family, please keep in mind, I always pray and ask God to decrease me and increase him. But I'm going to tell y'all now, when it comes to the body of Christ, I ain't no chump. I'm not no joke. And if y'all sitting up here, and I'm trying to think of the word, Pastor, trying to be holier than thou, trying to act like you better than the next Christian or religious person. If you got all of that inside of you where you feel as though you know being in your flesh, you're without sin. No, you're not without sin. Being in the flesh. Being in this flesh. You'll never be without sin, being in this flesh. Okay? And you know it. You know it. If you know why Christ gave his life, for you to have life. So he already know that no matter what, we're going to fall short. He already know. But some of y'all have a tendency. You fall short too. But you can take somebody else's situation and compare it to yours and then make their stuff, their sin to be worse than your sin. How can you do that? How can you do that? Now I'm going to show y'all this to give you something to talk about. You see these bracelets over here? This is 7. This is 7. It was 5. It was 5. I added 2 more. Know why I did it? Because I know it looks good. It's the pleasing the flesh. So I want to give you something to talk about. It's the desires of the flesh. I think it looks good on here. I think it makes me look good on here. I put this on. Okay? Because I think it makes me look handsome. I think it makes me look nice. So it's the desires of the flesh. Is it wrong? Not to me. But you might see something right and say, well, in the Bible, and during the back in the days, and the pizza put and pop and pepper and 11 and all that type of stuff, they weren't supposed to wear the yoga all the way back there. Well, see, in Ethiopia, back during the day, they didn't wear a hat on their head, and he's sinning because he in the house and the heat on, and he got a wool hat. Y'all will take it all the way back there. I'm like, ha! Well, see, they didn't have Diet Pepsis back in the day, and you sitting up here being a diabetic, and you know you can't drink sugar, actually soda with sugar in it, right? When you sitting up here drinking Diet Pepsi, and they didn't have Diet Pepsi back when Adam and Eve in Egypt time, and I'm like, oh, I'm being smart, y'all. Please don't pay. I'm being smart or sarcastic, right? Do you know how that gets me with us? When we have a tendency of taking something good and flipping it for something bad? Oh, he's been married twice. He cheated on his marriages. So his wife's still living in sin. From what I understand, if you want to go biblically, hey Maya, if you want to go biblically, the only time you can divorce is if you step out. Y'all add everything in there too. Well, he drunk some tea with ice in it, and because he drunk tea with ice in it, and he didn't share that tea with ice with his wife, so that meant he sinned against the wife. Y'all will add everything ain't got nothing to do with nothing, and I'll be tripping because I know what the Bible says. Mainly when I cheated the second time and I stepped out, I set her free. That's the only time. And that's what the Bible said. As a Christian man, let me tell you this. You can say what you want. If the marriage don't work and we get a divorce, God already knew. He already knew. She got the right to go marry anybody she wants. Just like me. I can tell you this, that's going to mess a lot of y'all head up. Because I believe it deep down in my spirit and my soul. If I go today or tomorrow, I earned my seat beside Christ. It's just a feeling that I have in my spirit. Whether I get there or not, I won't know until I go. And I want y'all to sit back and say, because the Bible, I'm telling you, you can say what you want. Because I have a connection with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and there's only one. That's personal. And I want you to understand. Listen to my words that I'm saying. Basically, my connection and my ministry, right? I don't want nothing to get in between what God called me to do. Okay? No man, no woman, no children. You see me right here. You see me. What's more important to me is my connection. And I'm getting ready to say Holy Spirit, the Father, the Son, the One. It's just one. It's my connection with God. Y'all don't matter. Nothing outside of that matters. Now, my children I love because he blessed me with them. My grandbabies I love because he blessed us with them. You can say whatever you want to say out your mouth. To have a grandson 18, have a granddaughter 17, have another granddaughter that's actually my stepdaughter baby, that's my baby, grandbaby. Both of them mine. And y'all will never understand the love, the compassion that I have inside. For my nieces, my nephews that I raised, for the young men that I mentored, all of that. They all grown now. But the thing is, I was able to give them something back what God helped me do, build that love and compassion inside of myself. And a lot of y'all want to tear it down. You can't do it and I ain't gonna let ya. That made me think about Jador's prompt, right? And if I can get it back in my spirit, right? The prompt said something about a woman. It was about a man being the prize in the woman's life. Like, do the man think he's the prize in the woman's life, right? Now, you don't ask Steve Copeland nothing like that, right? But I answered the prompt. I'm just trying to get there. The thing is, if you don't, that's what I said, family. I'm going to show y'all what people wear. I'm the prize. And it might not be to you. Get what I'm saying? Because the way I explained it, because of my morals, values, principles, the quality of that man, this man. And to me, any woman that comes in my life, she's getting a prize. And I'm not saying you got to brag or boast on me. I'm talking about who I am as a man. And it's not to exclude her. And that's what I was sharing with them, right? Dr. K. I'm the man that believe in taking care of women, so I'm going to spoil your butt. So basically, you are my everything. That's what I was telling them, right? I was like, because, we looking at self, right? But it's the confidence that I have in me. And if you in my life, I'm talking about that queen, I'm going to make sure you are happy, joyous, and free, but I want you to have that too. So to me, I know what I am. I'm everything. That's what I was looking at, right? And I'm like, she getting the best thing coming. Because I know me as a man, how I'm going to provide. And I was trying to tell them, I said, you know what? I had to learn to back up, family. Because I'm using this word codependency, right? Any woman that comes in my life will become an addiction for me because I have a habit of doing whatever I can to make sure you got everything. As far as not just the material stuff. So I'll lose myself. But I was trying to share with them the person that I am inside. And the only thing I can do is give back what I have here. It flew right over their head. And everybody came up. No, the man ain't the prize. The man ain't. Hey, I was just talking about yourself. I was trying to fix it where if your self-esteem, if you don't have courage and confidence in yourself as a human being, you notice I didn't say man, right? I'm just talking about as a human being. If you don't know how to love yourself, you don't have courage in yourself, you don't have confidence in yourself, you don't have faith in yourself, you don't have trust in yourself. Because the reason why I'm saying that, family, because when you look at the individual, right, he can only give you or her what they have inside. So when you find a lot of people that you might show a lot of love, compassion, and kindness to, right? and they don't give it back. 9 times out of 10, it's not in them, or it's not in them for you. I want to clean that up too, because a person can only give you what they have. If a person is rotten, mean, nasty, disrespectful, they're showing you who they are inside. And you know when a person is rotten, mean, nasty, it's a lot of pain behind it. So they're showing you who they are. That's who they are. So when you have a person like me that comes in and try to encourage you and motivate you and empower you, I'm only trying to give you the love back that I have inside. But you know what you'll turn around and do? That person that's so rotten and no good, you know, that pain, you will embrace that to be comfort compared to what I said as far as where I'm at. As far as being that loving, caring, kind, considerate man, you will take that more as an insult. And if a person, and I was watching them, Big Sam, it's like the guys was coming up calling the women bees, and they were saying certain things. You know, the women was sitting there just talking and playing like that wasn't nothing. I'm like, her. And then the other day, right, somebody said something about women coming on all fours. I was like, huh? Basically, he was calling them thugs. And they all right with that. I'm like, what in the world? I don't know what's happening with y'all. I don't know what's happening over here. And be honest, I keep telling myself, I ain't going to try to figure it out. One day it's going to come in. God going to make it clear. I just don't get it. I don't know which world, which planet. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm going to tell you, for me to keep peace, I try not to figure it out. And the only thing I can do when I'm on certain platforms or people invite me over, right, I have to look at my children. I have to look at like my family, period, or the people that I know, period, that's living a good quality of life. And I'm telling y'all right now, the stuff I hear on TikTok, my children do not talk like that. My son, like I said, we was riding together and I was listening to somebody over. I was playing their stuff while we was riding. And my son was like, Dad, what is they talking about? That showed me right then and there the language they speaking over there is totally different from the language they speak. You got people that come over here and act like they very intellectual, they very smart, they this, they that. But it's like, everybody, it's like to answer a question, they'll do research on it, they'll do statistics on it. And I'm like, whoa. I don't know what's happening. But what I have to keep in mind, no matter what, the type of people I deal with, I know they have psychological issues. I know they do. And I know the majority of them need meds. I already know that. But to me, they got more sense than a lot of people out here over here. I don't know what it is. But I can say this right now. Even when I was over to prison for the 11 months, and I watched the way the inmates was, I was like, oh my God. Once again, I've thought about my clients that I know that's dealing with bipolar, schizophrenic, and all this type of stuff. And once they're on their meds or they're, in reality still, but once they on their meds or stable, they got more sense than a lot of them. I'm like, oh my, but what I started saying, family, don't get it wrong, the psychological issues with people and why they do what they do and they're not being treated. It's the not being treated part. And some of them, if you talk to one-on-one, and I'm talking about like behind the bars and all that type of stuff, right? And on here, they have psychological issues. They know it. They might be on meds, but they stop taking their meds. So to them, what they're doing is normal. And trying to be very, very intellectual. I'm telling you, I watch it, and that's what gets me, because I'm like, now I know my client's been diagnosed with this and my client's been diagnosed with that. But God learned, even if they going into a state of mania, I'll say certain things. So if you hear me go louder, it's to bring them down. All of that is like a habit for me, right? But not being smart, and I'm talking about with TikTok, I don't know what's what. But when I hear a lot of them and they start wilding and I say certain things, my goal is to get you to bring it down. And I'll sit back and say little stuff like this. Y'all need to sign up for my mental health program. I tell them that just about all the time because I know they need help. I know they need help. And I can come in, share a solution on the topic, the prompt, and right after I talk, they go right back into that bull junk again. I be like, wow. It's like they go right back there. And I'm trying my best not to figure it out, right? Because I don't get it. I don't get it. And I find out, right, it's getting to the point, to be honest with y'all, and I said I want to send this over. When people send me invites, and I know the host itself might be fair, cool, it ain't the host. It's normally the panelists that I don't want to be bothered with. Because after a while, it's like, we on there, we playing, we kidding and joking, then they go, pew. And I'm like, what the freak just happened? The darkness come in. So, and I am going to get right in this. It's like 109. So what I said to myself, right, when it starts, you leave. Leave, Steve. When that chaos and confusion come in, leave, Steve. Leave. I don't want to knock you. However you choose to come over here and vent and get certain things out, that's fine. But it's a lot of people that comes on these platforms, and I say it all the time. They might can't afford a therapist. They might can't go to counseling. So they kind of look for a safe place to go and vent. And on TikTok, I'll let them know, if you come on my platform, I want you to be able to vent. I want you to be able to talk about where you at and what's going on with you. And if we can share stuff, with solutions wise, or just no more than just listen to you so you can get it out. And a lot of y'all on TikTok know what Big Unc is all about. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. I know a lot of y'all over here. A lot of y'all on TikTok. Y'all know I know. And y'all know me. And y'all know when I come on the platform, it's basically about recovery. Anybody platform I come on, I'm going to talk about recovery. Which is spiritual. I'm just saying, be spiritual stuff. I'm gonna come on like that, right? Because what I'm doing is trying to encourage and empower people. So if I come on your platform, you already know I'm not coming on for that bull jump. You already know. So when I come on, and if I open up my mouth according to your prompt, I'm going to share a solution on the prompt. I'm going to share an experience, and I'm going to share what we could do to flip it. And I know TikTok to y'all might not be the place, but stop. That's for you. It's a lot of us use TikToks. I'm gonna let y'all go over your family because I don't want to make